This would be like my bucket with all my items that I'll take along with me. I'll carry that bag with me as well. I have my bucket with my multiple mop heads, my vacuum, my high duster, and my mop. And then this little bucket over here, I have like extra items. Today on All Inspired, I'm going to show you how I would do a professional routine cleaning on someone's home. I showed you all of the items that I would come in through their front entry or their garage or wherever, and I would bring all these items with me so that I have them accessible and ready. During a routine clean, I would go ahead and pick a detailed item. I'm starting top to bottom this time. This is not a deep clean, so I'm not going to deep clean the entire space, but I am going to choose one deep cleaning item. This time I'm high dusting, just making sure there's no cobwebs. You may not notice them, but if you start walking around and looking, you very likely have a cobweb here or there. And so I do high dusting. I get the little trim above the doors, and then I just get the light fixtures nice and dusted off with my high duster, just letting all that dust fall down so that later on when I come through, I can give a thorough cleaning and a wipe down to my space, just getting all of that dust completely out. Now, the next time I came back to this home to clean, this is my home, but if this was my client's home, the next time I came back, I would do the light fixtures and the doors. And then the next time I came, I would do the blinds and the windowsills. And then the next time I would do the baseboards. Every single time I go, I would rotate an item, and every house is a little bit different. Some people have tons of furniture and you don't have a ton of baseboards to do. So then I would pair that with another item. Sometimes people's homes have minimal furniture and there's so many baseboards that you have to clean. So every home's a little bit different, and I like to just specialize it to their particular home and just get a good routine going to where I'm doing the routine cleaning. I'm dusting the surfaces, I'm cleaning the bathrooms, I'm cleaning the kitchen and all that good stuff, but I'm also incorporating one detailed deep cleaning every single time I do a routine clean of my client's house, just to keep up on that. It just helps out so well. I went ahead and cleaned my mirror up front, and I highly suggest, if you guys have problem with mirrors, the trick is go over it with the wet one. There's little fuzzies or smears. Take a dry towel, the oldest dry towel you have, and go back over it. It'll get rid of all the smears. It'll get rid of all the little fuzzies, all the things that are on the mirror. It's just the trick. That's why I have it in my little side, because oftentimes I will see something on a mirror that I need to grab real quick, and you can do it and it comes off super easily. I'm moving along into my front room, and I like to give a very thorough dusting to my surfaces. I just went ahead and got the lamp really good and then did this space. It's all based upon my client's needs. So for like this TV stand, if they had young children and there was fingerprints and things on it, I would come in here with an actual wood cleaner and spray everything down and give it a good thorough wiping. But because this is our space and we have older kids and we don't have tons of fingerprints and things like that, I just went ahead and did a really good dusting, because that's what I'm really in here to do, is get all of the dust up. However, I love to give a fresh shine on the glass. Glass tends to just show everything. So when you go ahead and just give that fresh little shine on it, it makes it look so much better. So I just went ahead and got all the smudges off of our glass piece, and then I'm just going to continue to dust throughout this space and make it all nice and tidy. Every little thing holds dust, and especially during the time of year when pollen is out, during the spring and the fall, there's so much pollen as well, which is often sticky. So it's really nice just to give a thorough dusting, but I would just move along each space, continuing to dust. And I like to keep all my items with me, and I like to try to make it to where I don't have to pick up and put down the items often. So I was dusting in there, now I'll come in here and I'll get any dusting that needs to be done in here, and then I will move on to the next thing, just trying to make it as simple as possible and as easy as possible. In my dining room, we have splatter. I'm not exactly sure what was on here. If somebody was spraying, maybe body spray, I don't even know. We have 3 girls, but there was something on these photos and you could just see that they look sticky. So even if I'm doing a dry dusting, anytime there's marks, I always grab a wet towel and make sure to give it a thorough wipe down. I also will often do a wet dusting, especially during those times of years when there's sticky pollen. Make sure I do a really thorough wet dusting just to get everything nice and clean. Now that I've done all the dusting and things in here, I'm going to go ahead and do the table. This is called a figure 8. It's essentially, a lot of people do this when they're mopping, where you just go back and forth in a figure 8 motion, almost overlapping a little bit, just making sure that you get all of the debris off the table. This is the easiest way for me to clean. This is how I do the countertops. This is how I do the table. It just makes it so much easier, making sure you get every single crumb off of the surface. And if you cannot see all of the crumbs, I often have to bend down and just look at it eye level, because that's just one of those things as a professional cleaner. You're going to have to make sure you get everything. And so getting down to that eye level really helps. Or on the countertops, like you will see in a few minutes. In my kitchen, I have a granite countertop, and it's really hard to tell if there's any crumbs on there, but you can quickly run your hand across the countertop and it'll tell you if it's efficiently cleaned or not. So I often have to do that just to make sure that I've gotten every single little crumb off the table. But during a routine clean, I will absolutely wipe off the chairs as well. Just give them a nice good tidy up. If this was a deep clean, I'd wipe off the legs and everything. But because we're just doing a routine cleaning, I'm just going to get the chairs all nice and wiped up and then move along into my kitchen. This is our little coffee bar area. Want to give it a nice little dusting and then make sure I get this wiped and fresh and cleaned up in this area too. Routine cleanings really shouldn't take that long. I know if you have to tidy up, if you have to organize, and you have to do deep cleaning, those all take time. Like, it's just, those will eat away at your time. But as far as just wiping down the surfaces, it's actually rather quickly. It doesn't take as much time as you'd think. Just if your kitchen was already tidy and all you had to go in there and do is wipe everything, how long do you think that would take you? I imagine everybody's kitchen's a little bit different, so it would be a little bit different for everyone. But I would say just to clean my kitchen, I don't have to tidy up, I don't have to do any dishes, put anything away, it would probably take me 15 minutes. It really wouldn't take that much time. It's the tidying up that takes a long time, and the organizing, and when you don't have your efficient systems in place. And because I'm a professional house cleaner, when I come into the people's homes, they've already tidied up, they've already organized. I have had multiple requests for me to do tidying and organizing, and I absolutely will do that. But as far as just cleaning, that is really pretty quick routine cleaning. Now, if you're doing a deep cleaning and it's been a while since they've done a deep cleaning, that's a different story. When you have the build up, that is what takes a long time. The routine is quick and easy. I would say to wipe down the kitchen, it would maybe take 15-20 minutes. To wipe a half bath, probably 10 minutes. To do like the dusting in a main area, maybe 20-25 minutes. It really doesn't take that long. It just depends on how many like different things you have sitting on your surfaces. The more items you have sitting on your surface, the longer it's going to take to do all the dusting. During a routine clean, I always do the microwave, always. I feel like that is just it's not a hard thing to do, and it makes such an impact. My clients always love the fact that the microwave gets cleaned because it gets dirty the quickest. Now, if you wanted to do a stove or your refrigerator clean, that would be an add-on. That would be included in deep clean, but that would not be part of your routine cleaning. I'm coming in, I'm getting all the surfaces, and I'm just wiping everything down top to bottom. That is what I would do in a routine cleaning. I also think I might make a video where I show you guys how I would do a deep clean. Let me know in the comments below. Do you want to see a deep cleaning video? For those of you that don't know, I am a professional house cleaning. I've been doing this for quite some time. I did take a break in 2020, but I have been professionally cleaning houses for almost 10 years, probably a little longer. And so these are just tips and tricks that I've learned. These are things that have worked for me and just how I would do it if I was cleaning a home. There's several different techniques and ways that you can go about it, but this is how I like to do it. This is the most efficient way that I've found over the years to get the home nice and clean, is just to try to really keep everything with you. You can see I have my bucket right there. I have everything that I need right next to me, ready to go, so that I don't have to continue to go grab things. I can just take care of the space that I'm in and then move my bucket into my next area and then handle that space as well. These are the countertops that I was talking about. Sometimes it's really hard to tell when you have the white. They're gorgeous. I love them. It's easy to tell that you've gotten everything off, but these ones are a little difficult. So the trick that I use is just to rub my hand across the countertops. If nothing comes off your hand, they're completely clean. If you still have some crumbs, you need to go back in and do another wipe and make sure that you get all of the items. After I get done in here, I'll move into the front room and finish dusting. I always do the houses when I come into the house. I will just start in one particular area, and then going forward, I will adjust my routines. Like for example, in this home, instead of working my way to the left, I should have just went ahead and dusted everything on this main level and then came in and did the kitchen. I think that would have been a more efficient way, but that is exactly what I do when I go into the homes. Typically, my first time, I will go over on the house, and it's just because all of those little things that you just start in one particular place, and then you realize, oh, I should have done it that way, or I could do it better this way. And then you adjust the routine. Once you get into that structured routine, I only change the deep cleaning items. So once I have a good solid, I know where I'm going to plug in my vacuum, and I try to plug my vacuum in as little as possible. I do not want to keep having to unplug it. So if I can find a way where I only have to plug it in 3 times and I can get your entire space vacuumed, that is what I do. And I do that going forward every single time in my cleanings. The same with when I'm going about the space. I want to find the way to where I don't have to pick up and put down my items. I can have my duster in my hand. I come in, I start doing a good dusting. I dust the whole entire main level, and then I come into the dining room, get the table wiped off. Then I come into here. Once I have a solid routine, I will do that exactly the same way every single time, because not only well, I guarantee that I won't miss anything because I do the same routine every time. I also am going to save a lot of time by being able to do that. The only things that I would change when I came back to clean this house the next time was I would do a different detailed item. I would do the doors and the light switches. And then the next time, I would do the baseboards. I would switch up the detail cleaning items. So the next time I come, I would not high dust or do the light fixtures. I would go ahead and start with the dusting and the regular cleaning. That would be the only thing that I change. And I have in my schedule, I like to keep all of that planned out. So it would be like for this particular house, I got my routine ready to go. And then week 1, their first cleaning, I would have the detailed items listed there. And then week 2, and then that way, before I go to the client's house, I can just look at the schedule and I know this is week 2. So I'm going to have to do the doors and the light switch covers. I just keep that all organized and planned inside of my schedule. I also keep any special notes because the way that I like to conduct my business is I like to customize it to suit my clients' needs. A lot of times cleaning companies do routine cleanings, deep cleanings. They have specific things that they clean. I want to let my client know that I'm here to help you out in whatever it is that you need. And I'm also skilled at more than just cleaning, which is exactly why I wanted to branch out onto my own. I worked for a company for several years before I branched out onto my own, but they only did cleaning, and I can organize and I can declutter, and I have a lot of different skills when it comes to homemaking. And so I don't want to just clean. I wanted to be able to add more value to my clients, and I've been able to do that very, very well. I actually have a client right now that is listing her home. And so I'm not only helping her with like the cleaning, the decluttering, and also a little bit of painting, a little bit of touch up painting that she needs done. And so it's just one of those things where I customize my cleanings just to suit the client. So anything that they need help with when it comes to their homemaking, I will do that. And I always explain that to them when I go in, that you let me know what you need help with, and I'm here to help you out. There are certain things that I don't do that I have been asked, like pet cleaning. Like sometimes people just want, if their cleaner's coming, would you do pet? Would you go outside and scoop up the yard and things like that? That's just something I just don't do. It's not. I just don't want to, honestly. I absolutely could offer that. And I've been asked before, but it's just not something that I want to do. I would much rather focus on like the cleaning, homemaking type of things rather than doing that. But I am always open to anything that a client needs help with, for them just to ask. I have picked up dry cleaning. I've dropped off dry cleaning. I've done laundry. I've done all types of stuff to help the clients out, just because, that's really what they're looking for, is they don't have enough time and they need somebody to come in and do the things that they hate doing so that they can free up some of their time. So that's what I love to offer to my clients. I do always, when I come into a home, if like they have decorative pillows, blankets, things like that, I always do a quick little straighten up. That makes such a huge impact. You wouldn't believe how much they love it. Even if a child's bed has like little stuffed animals and they're kind of scattered, just tidying it up just a little bit, it makes such an impact. I've had kids say they love that I come literally just because I set their animals on their bed. Folding the toilet paper, big impact. People feel like they're in a hotel. It's very simple. I even have a little reel on this page that'll show you exactly how to fold them. You can even make a little seal with your sink if you want to. It feels luxurious. It feels like, okay, I paid somebody to clean my house. It's just one of those things that the client absolutely loves, and I will always do because it only takes 2 seconds and they love it so much. But I'm going to move ahead to the floors. This is one of the most important things to get right. When you're cleaning your floors, I love to vacuum, do real thorough, good vacuuming. It's just all that. When you sweep, you kick stuff in the air. When you vacuum, it sucks everything in. So it just does the best job. When you are vacuuming the carpet, especially, you're not supposed to vacuum fast and chaotically. Like most people just go in there and they're just like, all over the place. That is not how you're supposed to vacuum. This is actually sped up. So it looks like I'm going quite fast, but I'm actually not. I'm dragging it back and forth, almost, how you mow a lawn. You wouldn't just go chaotic all over the lawn. No, you go back and forth slowly. It's exactly the same with a vacuum. If you go back and forth slowly, that brush is going to dig into your carpet fibers and is going to pull all of that dirt out of your carpet fibers and into the vacuum cleaner. I highly suggest doing just a slow vac. It'll make your floors feel so clean. But then I'm going to go ahead and get the hardwood nice and vacuumed up. We have all the debris on the floor, get all that tidied up, and then I'm going to come through and do my multiple mop head method. I absolutely swear by this method. If you use just a regular mop, you're pushing the dirty water around. That's all you're doing. You put it back in that bucket, all the dirt goes in there and you're pushing it around. The best way to get your floors sincerely clean is never putting anything into dirty water. So I have microfiber mop heads. You can purchase these on Amazon. It's very similar to the spray mops, except for I'm not going to spray. I'm going to take all my microfiber mop heads. I'm going to put them in my bucket. I'm going to wring them out really well, and then I'm going to mop a section. And then after I'm done with that section, I'm going to discard that dirty mop head and get a clean one. I'm always pulling a clean mop head to keep my floor section clean. I'm never using dirty water on my floors. It just doesn't work to actually get the space clean. A real thorough deep cleaning, like when I'm going in for a routine clean, this is how it has to be done. Just doing a spray and mop is great for those quick little messes, those quick little cleanups. But as far as actually mopping your floor, the multiple mop head method is the way to go. It is the closest that you can get to doing your floors on your hands and knees without actually getting on your hands and knees to do the floor. Doing section by section and making sure that each section that you do, you have clean water is the best way to mop the floors. If anyone else has a better way, please let me know in the comments below because I would love to hear it. But I've never found any method that is better than doing it like this. Unfortunately, my camera did die and I didn't record me mopping the whole floor, but I did get the whole floor mopped. But this is what I do. I like to use the O-Cedar mop because it wrings it out for me. And these are quite thick and wringing those out can be quite tedious. So I just go ahead and grab my O-Cedar mop and then I put all my mop heads in there. I do it section by section, wring out the mop head, come in here, I'll mop this section of the floor, I'll discard that mop head, grab another one, and then mop the section. It gets my floors looking so great. Even my vacuum mop cannot do as good of a job as this does because the vacuum mop, although it does go back to the station and it cleans its mop heads, it can only do so much. You know, these are all fresh mop heads and I can add pressure. I can take my foot and just, there's a little bit of grime built up on the floor. Just take your foot and kind of scrub it, wish it back and forth, and that whatever's on there will come right up. The vacuum mop, it just kind of struggles with it when it comes to your vacuum. You change those mop heads out, but it's nothing like getting a fresh, clean mop head every single time you mop a section, and then just doing small little section by section, mopping that area, getting a fresh one. It really does the best, most thorough clean. And when it comes to a routine cleaning of a home, when it comes to my clients, when they walk in, one of the things that I want them to know by far is the cleanest thing in their home is their floors. So many of my clients, I ask every single one, what is your biggest pet peeve? And so many of them say the floors because it has such a huge impact when they are clean. And so I highly encourage you guys to use this method. If you do, let me know how it works out on your floor. You can use it on anything, the hardwoods, the tiles, any surface you have. This is the best method to use when it comes to cleaning your floors. I hope you guys truly enjoyed this video. I hope you got some tips to help you out when cleaning your house. I know that it seems a little bit daunting at first, but once you get into it and you get that momentum going, it really can have a huge impact, and it can be quite quick once you have the systems in place and you know exactly how to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be having some more like this coming up, so go ahead and hit that subscribe and like button because you're going to want to see some more of the deep cleaning and spring cleaning videos I have as well coming up.